All right, I don't have my volume on this game. Turn the volume. All right, so I'm gonna play. Yes. Here's my Magic the Gathering deck. So this is in the Explorer format, which is a format featuring all cards from Return to Ravnica forward that are already on the Magic Arena client. It's kind of just like the in between until they get all of the cards on to get like the real formats in here. I call this deck Herald Flowers because it's built around this big herald here. It's like an artifact deck. You have like a lot of small artifacts and cheap creatures that you sacrifice and get like a ridiculous amount of value. Ooh, I have a card style. Poggers. Uh and you just like win by doing that. So yes, Herald Flowers. Oh yeah, that other commander set came out, which I like don't really care. I'll show off. I'll show off what I do on Magic Arena because this is basically what I do. I play this deck, and occasionally I play a few historic brawl decks, which is basically 1v1 commander, but with only cards that are on this format. So, see if I can find anyone to play against me. See, I've got a lot of banter that I've like mentally readied for Magic the Gathering. I would probably make a surprisingly banterful Magic streamer. All right, there's a lot of mana in this hand, but that's fine. We draw. All of these are drawing cards anyway. Hallowed Fountain turn 1 is never what you want to see in this format. 90% of this format is control decks, which is just like kind of exhausting to play a lot, which is why I don't play this game that much. Opponent is reading this card. You're looking at Implement of Combustion. It doesn't do very much, but it does draw a card when it's sacrificed, which is all that we really care about. They're going to Spell Pierce my thing. All right, they're playing Spell Pierce in their deck, whatever they're doing. Yeah, Magic the Gathering commentator. I mean, the J sleeves are like, okay, yeah, that's a Ledger Shredder. Ledger Shredder. Uh, Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, they get to draw a card, discard a card, and then if they discard a spell, they put a counter on it. I'm just gonna bean them for 1 and do a redraw here. And you want to see me do it again? Kind of looking for some permanence. So they don't have. So more than likely, my opponent is playing a combo deck, uh, built around basically like reanimating a big thing. They have like a reanimator deck where they put this huge vehicle into play. Oh, hold on, my opponent's saying things. Over the course of 3 casts of Implement of Combustion, I have lightning bolted my opponent 1 time. Which is why Lantern of the Lost is actually going to be extremely crucial to this matchup. Oh, I let them draw a card. That one's on me. But I think it's actually pretty necessary to get the Lantern down here so that they don't just, like, kill me. Oh, and they didn't even put a counter on their guy. Okay. That's fine with me. They might not have the combo, but it would be weird to see Esper Ledger Shredder that isn't trying to combo. But they could also just like, okay, no, if they're playing Faithful Mending, they're playing the combo. I'm trying to like explain everything I'm doing because I know you guys haven't played this game in so long. And opt? Interesting. That's I don't know. Okay, yeah, that's what they're trying to do. So there's a 3-drop that lets you put a vehicle from your graveyard onto the battlefield and give it haste. Uh and they want to animate this and then just like make a bunch of angels and kill me instantly pretty much. Yeah, that one, by the way, it's exactly this one. So this is their combo. But I do get to exile all graveyards before they can get their card back. Alright, I need to draw, like, permanents. So I've got a few options here. One for wanting this card feels bad, but I have two in my hand anyway, so I think I'm going to do it. And also just, like, shore up my life total a little bit. They have big creatures now. They have just... They're swimming in ledger shredders, and they get to draw 8 cards. Okay. Well, that was good for them. That was extraordinarily good for them. Okay. And they scried to the top? Oh my god. Yeah, let's do something fun for once. Agreed. Okay, well, we have lost this game. They just generated so much value and we didn't draw any cards. I probably shouldn't have sacrificed all those implements so aggressively, but that's just kind of how I play. All right. So against them, we probably aren't particularly interested in too many copies of Fatal Push. We do want some Thoughtseize, I think. And then Go Blank would be nice. More Graveyard Hate is very useful against them. But so is the Hearse, and the Hearse might just be better because it's a removal. Yeah, they don't really tend to have a lot of cards in hand, so I think the Hearse might actually be a little better here. Especially because it can hit stuff at instant speed, which means a lot. I don't think I want to cut every copy of Fatal Push in my deck. I think I maybe just cut one of these and one of these, just trim them down. I did like net deck this, so I don't really know how to sideboard correctly. And this isn't like a very popular deck in the format by any capacities. Hand is mid, but let's hope to draw some dopey artifact. Can also Voltage Surge, which I think actually hits like nothing in their deck. So it might have been like wrong to even have it in the list. But... So we've got this on the battlefield we can use if we need it. It's really better when you don't draw all of these at once. I'm kind of drawing all my expensive stuff when the whole point is that this deck plays just like only cheap stuff, except for the one expensive thing. They're taking Herald, so I guess the Herald's put the fear of God in him, I suppose. I'm gonna make a blood fountain here. And I'm just gonna pass the turn. So the question is if I want to use my blood and just cycle. The way they're holding up mana here is very I'm holding up a counter spell. So I think I'm just going to cycle away one of these meat hooks and try to draw into some more action other than Deadly Dispute, because I really want this to resolve right now. Oh yeah, that's their pet Thopter. I have a pet ghost. Alright, we're gonna go. And then what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna Deadly Dispute this in response. And I don't have to do this one. Alright, so we've drawn every copy of the Meat Hook Massacre in our deck, which is usually not what you want to happen with a legendary permanent, but it happened. And we have not drawn creatures, like literally a single creature. that we could put on the battlefield. And considering that pretty much all of their creatures have like huge asses, I think it's just better to play this as a 0 drop and just use its draining triggers here. Yes. The Meat Hook Massacre. I have a bunch of alternative comedy card names that I can Right, they're gonna March of Otherworld. They're really fucking afraid of Harold. They're scared out of their mind of Harold. Harold is they are literally crying over Harold. Alright, well. This is an attack with the Den of the Bugbear turn, and hope they can't kill it. They do not have the ability to kill it. That's pretty good for me, because that's gonna leave me a goblin in play. Oh, wait. Hold on. We're going to see what this does first, because I'm not. Do they have a vehicle in their graveyard? Okay, no. Then I don't really care about Greasefang yet. I'm not going to sacrifice my treasure yet. But now I'm going to Fatal Push this Ledger Shredder. Gain a life. And then I won't quite be able to successfully Voltage Surge. If I Voltage Surge the Greasefang now... Yeah, I think I kind of have to do that, because if they can put a Parhelion into their graveyard with the Greasefang on the battlefield, I legitimately just lose instantly. So I guess we're just playing a tap land and hitting them for 1 here. Yeah. Who up getting they meat hooked? I think this is we're gonna start by bugbearing them. They can obviously just block the token, but it does get in for 3 still. And that actually drains them 1 because of the massacre. Which is why this card is so stupid. It's like a Wrath and also a win condition on the same card, which is kind of too good. And they don't have the ability to kill me exactly at this moment like I thought they did. Alright. I wish I had the ability to get a redraw right now. I'm going to attack with everything, because if they block the goblins, they're just, like, taking damage, you know? This is gonna... if they, you know, trade their Ledger Slider, they can't loot. Oh my god. Literally everything you say ever is a tongue twister. Okay, they don't have anything to do with their Greasefang. And we're gonna play Oni called Anvil here. So what this card does is whenever an artifact leaves the battlefield for the first time each turn on my turn, I get a 1/1, and I can sacrifice an artifact to it to drain them. Who is indeed up getting they meat hooked, by the way. I don't really think Kolaghan's command does anything because the 2 damage mode is never killing one of their guys. So I think we just go. And we don't really want to be letting them discard when their whole game plan is reanimating a thing. Alright, we actually drew a 1-drop creature that enters the battlefield and does something. So yeah, you're going to see the idea here is that we generate a bunch of artifacts with stuff like this, and then hopefully we get to improvise Herald, who just makes them discard, and also we can sacrifice artifacts to kill their stuff. The Necromancer is pretty easy. It's like boss 1. Yeah. Not exactly a huge challenge, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, no, the Cerberus boss is the first one. Was it? I can't remember. It's been a while since I played RSR. Or not RSR, Circle of Moon. Okay, we're gonna play a Blood-Tithe Harvester. So these things just make blood when they enter play, which you can sacrifice it, discard a card to draw a card. It's pretty nice. They pitched a Greasefang. And Blood-Tithe Harvester also has the ability to tap its sorcery speed to basically kill something using blood. Otherworldly Gaze. That card is just not good enough to play in any deck, I'm sorry. Okay. So I think what we do here, this is sorcery speed only. So I think we just want to trade this for the Shredder. Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. And I'm going to dispute this and draw. We're looking for graveyard interaction. We have not found any. Okay. What card for a 1-drop? Oh, also we just lose the game because they had their creature in hand that instantly kills me when it enters the battlefield, and we don't have a way to interact with their graveyard, so we lose. Okay. What card doesn't seem bad to you for a 1-drop? Oh, the Gaze? It doesn't draw cards, is the reason it's bad. And this is like a pretty high power level format, so not drawing cards is a little sus most of the time. I don't really have many Explorer decks that I actually built. I'll just run this one back for now. Because the problem is you're basically casting 1 mana to do nothing most of the time, you know? Like, just play Opt instead. Like, you don't get to see as many cards, but you do get to draw a card, which is just, like, better. They seemed like a much lower to the ground version of that deck. What's really obnoxious about the Greasefang deck is that it's also, like, a completely functional, just, like, mid-range deck with, like, big creatures and draws a bunch of cards half the time that just so happens to be able to instantly kill you on turn 3 when they get lucky, which is pretty obnoxious. Uh, there was like another deck that was kind of similar to that got banned, but I have no idea why it got banned when that deck didn't. Because the other deck was significantly easier to interact with and fell apart a lot quicker without the combo, while the Greasefang deck can kind of just like win the game without comboing pretty efficiently. Alright, my bones have been crushed. This thing is going to draw them cards every time it attacks, but they'll have to... They can only really pop it once their hand is empty. Taking 2 damage from a land here sucks, but making a 3/2 sounds pretty pertinent. A lot of Herald of Anguish in my hand. I feel as though my Blood-Tithe Harvester is not long for this world. I was correct in my assumption. Alright. Alright, there are 4 copies of Fatal Push in my deck. I would like to draw them, please. That's not Fatal Push. Oh, that's actually quite good. Okay, I'm gonna shock myself, even though that's probably wrong. Play this Implement of Combustion. And then hopefully we draw a land next turn, since that will allow me to meat hook X equals 3, right? Yeah, that would be let me meat hook for 3 and then kill all their stuff. Although they are gonna get like another hand of cards here, which kind of sucks. Opponent reading Implement of Combustion. This happens every time I play this card. Ooh. Alright, that's not gonna really do that much, actually. What did they exile? Oh, Blood Tide Lovers. Okay. Alright, so if we don't draw a land, they keep the 1/3. But if we do draw a land, they're in for a world of hurt, you know? Land? Ooh. Wouldn't see ya. Wouldn't wanna be ya. Get out of here. Alright, they didn't get to activate their Beaumont Courier, which is so good for us. They never got to draw the card? Yes. They're literally horrified at what the existence of this card in like the idea that I would register this card in this format is like genuinely terrifying to I think most people I play against. Right, we're gonna sacrifice it and draw 3 here. Alright, Harold, welcome to the party. Alright, so I'm gonna whiff on some value from this. But it's fine because I'm just trying to get enough mana to just like full on herald them next turn because I don't really think they'll have a way to deal with that. And even if it trades for the Bone Crusher Giant in combat, I have 2 backup heralds. So what you got with those 2 cards? Another Karizev. Okay. And then just hit me for 3. Yep. So we want to have as much mana as possible. We're gonna tap everything that we can for improvise here. Play Herald, and we're just gonna pass. They don't have any cards in hand to discard. I might be dead to Den of the Bugbear. I'm not dead to Den of the Bugbear because I can kill it. Umano faces Kakazan. Declaring attacks. What do I want to do here? I mean, I'm obviously blocking. Oh, you have Menace? That's actually really... Oh, I gain life when their stuff dies, though, which is nice. Now we're going to move to my turn. Oh, I drew another Meat Hook Massacre. That's pretty disgusting. I should have attacked first, because that shrinks my Herald, obviously, but I'm stupid. Whatever, I don't really think it matters. So basically, if they activate a Den of the Bugbear here, it'll become a 3/2, and then I can just kill it instantly and draw a card. Oh, well, that was a good draw for them. I'm assuming they're gonna... Well, obviously, they can only +1, but I don't know which +1 they're gonna do. Either way, I can just, like, punch it in the face. Okay, yeah, they're just gonna... Can't really do anything with that mana. I think the game is just over because Herald is here now, and they have no cards in hand, but... And then speaking of Herald, card is not legendary. So let's get Herald Flowers the second down. Kill their Planeswalker. And now if for some reason they ever manage to draw cards, they will have to discard 2 every turn. Alright, so that turns into a dude. And that turns into a dude. I'm trying to think if they'd have a method of 5-ing me off the top of their deck. They might, but it's unlikely. They're just gonna do nothing. We're gonna sacrifice Implement of Combustion. That'll draw us a card and kill their guy. So improvise, you remember convoke? It's that for artifacts. This gives us another draw. So like to cast the colorless portion of the spell, I can tap all the artifacts. It tells you right there. And then we get another spell. Do I want to fire this up or do I want to hold up mana? What could they possibly play? All right, what could they possibly play? I'm just going to hit you for as much damage as humanly possible. Suffer pain and misery. Exile target card. I haven't seen any flashback from them. I don't know if this will be relevant. Yeah. They are very much dead. Unless they have like some random deal 5 to target player card in their deck. Or I guess like activate Ramanop Ruins deal 4 to me somehow. Could do it. I just don't think they play any burn spells that would allow them to do that. They'd have to go like draw 2. Then we're just gonna kill this before it even lets them draw a card, even though I can't imagine they could win. They're gonna sacrifice it. I'll gain a life, and they will die. All right, probably could have conceded about 4 turns ago, and that would have turned out about the same, but... All right, so we're already pretty good against red decks. I think some Kolagon's command coming in would be fine. The Lantern of the Lost don't really do very much against them. But aside from that, we're just already like pretty well boarded. Just being able to like kill something and draw a card with Kolagon's command is good enough. No, Frank kicked my ass. Ooh. The 1 a.m. bracket, I suppose. Not a great hand, but I can keep. Alright, Kumano. Play this. Alright, so the creature they cast this turn gets a counter. They have anything to cast. Oh, that's like the worst thing. And then I think we're making a 1/1 instead of keeping the blood. He cranked his Frank. Indeed. Attack. You're gonna shock my face. Stride to the top, that's not good. No blocks. Again, I would love to see any copies of the card Fatal Push. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna start by cycling combustion and getting a guy. And we'll see what we draw off the top here. Wanted to make sure I can hold up Fatal Push. Right, that is not Fatal Push. So I guess we're just gonna play a 3-power guy. Because we have nothing better to do. They really don't like getting their prowess triggers off, I guess. Stop having exactly that for that guy every time. What are the chances that triple blocking here doesn't blow me out? High enough that I'm not going to do it. Let's see if we can hit a land off this. That's ideal. And then I'm going to want to redraw that again next turn in case we get another land, so I'm going to just sacrifice this. And then I think I'm going to do this now. I'm going to get the last card out of their hand and kill their guy. Oh, that's a good one to get rid of. Okay. Indeed. Yes, the card I just took out of their hand adds 2 points to every point of damage they would deal to me. Alright, they are not drawing much. Alright, we get another guy. They're out of stuff. We're pretty stabilized here. Oh, we're really stabilized here. Alright, so we push this. Although we are noticeably lacking in black mana. I need more black sources. Drawing all red. Can't even cast Herald. Me walking in to get a gym cut like a little off the top, please. Is this content not entertaining? Is that why we're resorting to that bit again? We're just gonna do that. Keep my life total high. That card. But then we're just gonna pass. I think we have to take this hit for which hopefully just doesn't kill me. It might just kill me though. Like non-zero chance. Okay. That is not a kill. Okay. How do I place? I think I just go to my turn. These are just not the draws I wanted. I might just like cut this card or like a couple copies of it. This only does 2 damage is the problem. And I'm like dead on board. Alright, I'm gonna sacrifice an anvil to itself. Deal 2 damage, get a creature. And desperately hope that they don't kill me. a very significant number of their draws will kill me from 1 life, but... And that's one of them. They can just activate their desert. I just die instantly, yeah. Okay, I drew like 12 copies of the demon, which is not what I want. I think I want to shave down on that and maybe just put the lanterns back in. It's just like too big. I don't really have anything else that like gains life. I mean that does, but that's most of their stuff has 2 toughness, so I can't really use that either. Yeah, alright. I don't like taking 2 for my lands, but I'm probably going to do it. Okay, they mulliganed. That's a good sign. Oh, we do have a Meat Hook Massacre, which it would have been a card that we would have liked to see in the last game. Cool. Don't have to take damage for a mana this turn. The sound effects, are the sound effects audible? They should give you at least a vague idea of like when things are happening. Turn them up even more. My bones have been crushed. Let's see what we get here. Sure thing. Alright, we got a lot of artifacts, so Herald is actually pretty easy to cast right now. Don't have a 3rd land. You piece. If we draw Herald, we can just put him on the battlefield. It's not it. I think we're just gonna play this. Have the option to trade with their Bone Crusher, so long as this thing doesn't eat a removal spell, which it is almost guaranteed to. It, in fact, ate a removal spell instantly. I would like for them to put another creature on board before I Meat Hook. Just to really rub it in. That's not a creature. If they have 3 of those, I'm going to become the Joker. Let's draw a card real quick. Oh, not 2, please. 3. There you go. Alright. Gain 2. Alright, they drew their Planeswalker. Kinda sucks.
Whoa, I've never crashed a wedding like this before. Woohoo! Watch me heat up the dance floor.
This could be make them discard, get back Blood Tithe Harvester, but I don't know if that's really good enough. I think we're just going to start by drinking some blood. Yeah, we got another Blood Tithe. I think I'm just going to commit a bunch of creatures to board here. I have been redcap meleeed. So this is going to get to draw them a card, which kind of sucks, but... Unless they just attack me. Okay, they're drawing a card. And their card draws them even more cards. God damn it. We're going to start here. Literally no reason to cast that. So we're going to do that, and I'm assuming they're going to just spend their whole turn casting this big, stupid Torbran here, which luckily is easily fatal pushable simply by using the treasure mana to pay for the fatal push. Slay, Yas Queen, slay, slay, Yas Queen, slay. Or they're just going to hit me for... Oh, that, yep, those cards combo, yep.
I'd love to.
Okay. What are you doing? They're passing to end a turn. Now this will give us the Revolt's ability, and we can push Torbran off a bridge. That's an easy loot. Okay, we're finally getting, like, pieces of the engine that the whole deck is built around. Only drawn, like, 22 cards. That's literally pathetic in this deck.
It's not as bad as it looks.
Shit! She's slaying me! They have, like, a lot of reach. We need to gain some... Well, that's unfortunate. Don't have another fucking fatal.
Watch me heat up the dance floor.
That does 250,000,000,000 damage. I need to draw a fatal push. We'll take surge or something. And hope that they don't have like stunt block. Let's gain life. I just don't think the Kolaghan's command is doing anything at this point. Alright, we just have to somehow hope that they can't kill me, which is... the odds are literally 0. As in, they're literally 0, I'm just dead. We just have not drawn the removal half of the deck, like, at all. We drew one removal spell the whole game.
Give a toast? I'd love to.
Alright. Exactly fatal push off the top. And I don't die. I think I actually do still die. But it did... I guess I should have known that I would draw that and just tried to get fun. No, I'm very much getting slayed. I'm literally like dead right now. Have they figured out that I am literally just dead? Okay, yes. It took them like 80 seconds of looking at the board to figure out that I was dead. Oh, that's just drawing the wrong cards when you want the right cards, as always. Alright. Yeah, sure, one. I need to, like, win a game. Elf Booba? Elf Booba? Hashtag Elf Booba? Clam box? I like how you censor... The part that you censored was girl, not cock, just girl. That's the part that's gonna raise some eyebrows, but the cock, that's fine. Yes, the Elvish Piper laying some Elvish pipe. Oh, I have not played against this deck literally ever, but I think I know what they're doing. And we do not have any sideboard cards for this matchup because it's, yeah, this. Okay, well, they had the nut draw, unfortunately. We might be able to, like, race them. Actually, in doing that, they... Okay, their thing isn't protected, so die. There's actually, like, a decent chance we draw something we can't cast off of this, but I think the odds that we draw something worthwhile are... Alright, well, I really wish that card was still on top of my deck. Yep, mono blue spirit. I don't know how much mana the other implements cost. Maybe there's a better implement to play in this deck, actually. Because you can activate combustion, but, like, this card can't be good. It's an Ascendant Spirit. Black or red? Probably black. Okay, I forgot they could do that. But I'm going to pretend I did it on purpose. Or not. They're slipping me out the back. Okay, well, I've just gotten extremely blown out. What is this card? Put a counter on a creature and it phases out. Okay. And they... just like... I have no idea how to play this matchup at all. I have never played against this deck. Oh, again, drawing the fatal pushes would probably be nice. We're just dead. There's no way we resolve our next spell anyway. What the hell am I possibly supposed to do? I think these? Cut down on this? There is literally nothing in my sideboard to interact with my opponent. Kinda sucks. Yeah, phasing is like you just treat it as if it's not there until the player's next upkeep or something, or like the start of their turn. Not much of a difference, I guess. Alright, well, there's like a 1-mana counter target artifact spell that exists, which is probably just going to completely fuck me, so... see you guys after I lose this one. Well, that's not the right one, but, you know, close enough. Do I... Is my blood more useful than the 1/1? I legitimately think it is, because, like, all of their creatures have flying. Ooh, they don't have a third land. Let's just put some stuff. Well, they found their third land. I think I'm just gonna attack in with this. Attack for 4. Make a 1/1. Because obviously they're gonna flash something in. Like they've been holding priority the whole match. Borrower. Very easy to massacre. Not as easy to massacre as it once appeared. There's also the question of, like, am I just beating them to death? Well, unfortunately, it gets +1. If I just attack... I'm just gonna attack for 5 here. Alright, and this is when I can use this -1 effect. And now we kind of blew them out, because they weren't expecting that. Flash in your mother, etc., etc. Dude, there's no way they'd give your mom flash. Way too slow. It's just a complete flavor fail. Okay, they're gonna draw 8 cards a turn for the rest of the match. So just hope that they can't also counter this, which of course they can. Yep. They get a 1 mana hard counter now for some fucking reason. This will not be able to gain flying at least. You forgore, indeed. We just have no method of winning this game. They have 4 cards in hand. I feel like the sideboard for this deck definitely just, like, sucks. Like, I'm not entirely sure why it is how it is at all. Because, like, what is the... Because they've got, like, these noxious grasps, but it's like... I don't know how to rebuild it. I'm just gonna... There was another historic deck, or explorer deck that I used to like playing, but, unfortunately, it's, like, really, really, really bad by virtue of the existence of the stupid, reanimator deck, but I'll give it a run. I don't know. The problem is that it's like it's really hard to build sideboards just because the ladder is just like everything at once. And it's like that matchup there were no cards in my sideboard to bring in. But it's like, do I cut some stuff to make my matchup against other decks worse? And like sometimes that would probably be correct. It's like I feel like my entire sideboard is just built to fight blue-white control explicitly. But and I'm thinking, okay, I don't need all of that, but then I remember that blue-white control is so fucking obnoxious in this format, and you kind of do need all of that. Oh, speaking of blue-white control, we just queued against it. And we have 3 removal spells in our opener. Which is, like, really bad. Okay, well, we mulliganed into an absolutely goated hand. What am I bottoming here? I think it's just the scavenger. We're gonna do this now so they can't hit me with sensor. Yes. So blue-white control, there's this mechanic called companion that they made, and like you basically get to start with a card in the command zone in non-commander formats. Sort of. You have to like pay 3 mana and then you put it into your hand, but it's like always there, you know? Okay, they're playing main deck Portable Hole. Who hurt you? And basically the reason blue-white control is so fucking frustrating is because it gets to play all of this shit always. The problem is that Yorion's like downside is that your deck becomes less consistent, but they literally cannot help themselves but print busted blue-white control cards like 7 times per set release. So basically there's just like no inconsistency because every card in your deck is like a design mistake. That's why I kind of hate control in this format. We're casting this now to mill them further. This way I can get my creature to maximum power as quick, as well as have this into the story ready. Yeah, because now their Shark Typhoon doesn't trade. Which, it's also really obnoxious that the, like, dumb Sharknado meme card is, like, ridiculously good and played everywhere all the time constantly. They're gonna save themselves 4 life. I really hope that they didn't draw 4. We do have 6 power, and I get to hold up this Spell Pierce now. Fatal Push is not it. No, a Shark Typhoon for 1. I'm fine with that. Right, we'd like to draw another blue source to cast this. They missed a land drop. I am certainly down with that. Suffer. Your misery sustains me. Oh, I could have just killed them, but I, like, legitimately stopped paying attention. Yeah, that's actually, like, a significant problem. They presumably counter this. Oh boy, 2 copies of Farewell. Isn't that fun? They were like, blue-white control is too good in every format. How about we just print a Wrath that exiles every single thing you want modally, exclusively when you want it to exile that explicit thing? I think that would be a really awesome addition to the format. I think I just counter this and hope they don't draw the land. Or hope I draw another counterspell. Does this kill them? No, it puts them to 1. That's so obnoxious. Down with it. Okay, well, they top decked the exact card they wanted, and now they get to exile everything. Oh, wait a minute. This Are you... Why is it templated so artifacts is on top? Cool game. Alright, well, I guess I do lose my thing. This card feels like it's explicitly templated so that there is never any possible way that it could work out poorly for the person who casts it. Which is another extremely frustrating aspect of it. Okay, I'll never draw a spell for the rest of the match. I do only have to deal 1 point of damage, but that's probably going to be harder than it looks. Yep, and now they get their 3 5/5 flyer. Is it possible for these players to not draw the exact answer every turn? I would really like it if this didn't happen. Literally the problem is that blue-white decks with this exact play pattern have been the best thing in every format for like a year straight, and they have never done anything to stop it. Like, they'll ban literally everything ever that isn't this. This will never see anything. Even though this exact same deck has been the best thing in every format on the Arena client, like, behold. I mean, I can... This only has a ward, right? Yeah, so I can actually kill their land if they activate it. Okay, I drew my draw 4. Don't have a counter spell. Okay, I drew no spells off of my draw 4. That's a lie. I drew Nighthawk Scavenge. Alright. So we attack, see what they have. In response, I will return it to my hand. And then I can just play it again. And now, hopefully, they don't just draw an answer. They drew an answer. What a surprise. I guess when... There are also lands that are also creatures in my deck. I just don't have any of them. Looking forward to the Planeswalker they cast. All right. Well, if they don't, the top card of their library, exactly the top card of their library that they have not manipulated in any fashion has to be a way to kill this. Never mind, they get to look at the top 7 cards of their library. Cool game, dude. It's like they haven't just drawn a land that doesn't do anything one time the whole match in their 80 card deck, which is supposed to have less consistency than a 60 card deck, but it turns out that's just an objectively false statement, because they will never not have exactly the answer. And their fucking answer is a blocker, which is so... I don't even know what I'm looking for. This is like the only deck that makes me genuinely like extremely tilted. Okay, just shove it up your hole. Um, because it's like it's the same deck. It's 74% of matchups you play on this format on this client. And even though it's the best deck in the format by a significant margin and everyone knows it, Wizards refuses to ban things. But like the fragile combo deck that you could easily beat by just playing one copy of the card Doomblade in your 75. No, that has to be banned, but the not fragile combo deck has to not be banned. Anyway, their format management is fucking horrible. It would also help if I wasn't currently playing against a guy who like stacked his deck. Like the complete inability to draw poorly in the 80 cards supposedly less consistent deck is really telling of the fact that there are just too many good cards for the blue-white control lists. And they probably get to sideboard in Rest in Peace, which kind of fucks with my whole plan and like really screws over a lot of my stuff. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, this is 4 lands. All right, just don't draw more lands, please. And as you can see by all the foiling, I actually like enjoy this deck a lot, and so I crafted like all of the foils for it, which was probably a bad move because I know this deck sucks like instinctually, but this stupid card too, the fucking 4-mana Planeswalker, is such a like unreasonably good card. They need to stop printing cards for blue-white control decks that do literally everything in all stages of the game at all times. It's very annoying. So we're probably gonna just like try not to play these Redeem's Awakenings here. Am I allowed to move to my Declare Attacker's step opponent? Do you have any further comments? And then I think we're gonna play one of these as attack and then I think we're just gonna pass actually. All right, so we can attack for 4. This is Shark Typhoon. I will be very happy. March of Otherworldly Light. That's also fine. Because now we've milled them to the point where I can draw 4 cards for 4 mana, which is pretty good. And hopefully they don't have some card that I specifically needed to counter right now, which they probably do. And now that they're past the threshold, we can play. We don't have to play too fast here. So we're just going to drop an island, and we're just going to hit them for 1. Or they're gonna cycle that for 2. Alright, well now we're gonna bounce that. Hit you again. Now we've got this Spell Pierce, which could potentially do something of value. Right, as always, you just have to sit there and watch them do nothing every turn. But also have they know they're doing nothing, but they are going to stare at their hand for at least 18 seconds just to make sure that the turns take as long as fucking possible. We're just gonna go to alright. Thoughtseize, please. Show me the goods. 11,000 copies of Memory Deluge, a couple of counter spells. I mean, we're taking the card that does anything here. So they can cast the Deluge, but they're not going to get to flash it back because I can exile it with this, which is nice. Well, I know we're not casting into the story. All right, give them 35 minutes to determine what 2 cards from the top of their library they would like to put into their hand, and the rest of which they would like to put on the bottom of their library in a random order. You were supposed to give me priority, Magic Arena. All right, portable, I don't care. Yep, it's just that they're gonna sit on counter magic for the whole game. Let's see if we can bait their mystical dispute. They kind of need to counter this, so... land is actually fairly good here. We're gonna play another one of these. They're holding up the disruption. Makes sense, I guess. People who play like the really annoying decks on this client always take like 8 minutes to do their turn. I don't know what it is. Like there's another deck that very particularly, like you have to do a lot of clicking and manage a lot of triggers. But for some reason, the people who play that are exclusively people who take like 8 minutes to resolve one trigger, and then they have like 8 triggers on the stack per turn, and it's so infuriating. Like it's actually the worst thing ever. There need to be like dexterity tests you need to pass to be legally allowed to register Cauldron Familiar in this format. Right, we're gonna cast this. It probably dies. Yep. At this point, I'm just hard casting this and seeing if I can resolve it. Probably not, but we have to get the mana, the counter spells out of their hand at some point. Oh my god, I drew the cards. Welp. All right, well, our hand is really, really good. Like, all action. Including 2 counter spells. They have 7 mana here. But our pressure just, like, isn't very strong. We're just gonna play this 2-drop here. The one thing is that the stupid shark card does get us because it's a cycle ability, so you can't counter it. They're doing that. Get to resolve it. And because their deck is 80 cards, we can't even win with the alternate plan of milling them out, which this deck is sometimes capable of doing. Okay, I think this just happens. I forgot to sacrifice my creatures. Did they just... What? What just... What? Oh. Oh, they played the legendary land when they already had one in play. Lol. And then they just concede the whole game. I'll take it. What, is my deck frustrating, opponent? Is it annoying to have your spells countered? Are you is it slightly tilting, perhaps, that sometimes your plays do not occur? Or is that just like... Because why would you just concede to playing a legendary land by mistake? Because it's not like that big of a deal. Gamer Fury. Can you guys confirm that I'm in the right Twitch category, by the way? I changed it, but like I'm a very nervous person about the Twitch category system. Okay, good. Okay, did they just like walk away from their computer? What are you sideboarding in? What major changes to your deck do you need to make to game 3? I legitimately, the MTG Arena category doesn't exist. I tried to put it and it just didn't exist, so whatever. We're playing this. Is there an MTG Arena category? Because like I thought there was, but I could not find it. We're gonna play this so it can't get censored. We have a lot of lands. Hopefully we draw some spells. Now we just pass. Go ahead. Seaman of the Ohm, as I often refer to it. Like, I thought there was a Magic Arena category, and then I typed in Magic the Gathering Arena and MTG Arena, and neither of them, like, existed. Oh, scry 2 to the top. That's so bad. 6 lands is more than I would like to have. And I thought Arena had its own. That's why it's like bothering me. But I guess the problem is that like half the formats are on Arena and the other half are on Magic Online, which are like technically different game clients. So I guess they didn't want to separate them. Because I know a lot of Magic streamers just do like a lot of different decks in different formats per day. So if they try to use the Wandering Emperor here, which is what I think is going to happen, I can actually dispute it because this doesn't need to target a blue spell, which is probably what I will do if that is the case. Nope. As always, it's the stupid shark. You get to sit here holding up dispute. Well, not going to complain about that. Show me the goods. You piece. Or counter it, that's also fine. They can't even dispute my dispute. I can pay for the mana if they try to do like 6 mana to fairy dispute here. Nope, just a tapped land. Alright, at this point, I'm going to feign having interaction. And hope that they're scared. They were not scared. Just gonna pay 2. Play the guy out again. You haven't seen the last of me. I think I try to counter this. It definitely doesn't happen. Unless it does, and they only have soft counters. Or they have just like, they probably just have like a second one in hand, knowing their ability to draw exactly the card they want at all times. We are drawing way too many lands. We need for them to like play something here and then to top deck the draw 4. Oh, that's not a draw 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands out of 22. Good cards. I mean, I have to try this. Well, that is a spell. The odds it does anything are basically 0, but... swear to God, they're just gonna cycle a third shark. Nope. Not quite, but we are not drawing well at all. We need to draw, like, drown in the lock to get rid of that. I think I'm gonna spell against this. Okay, they 100% have a mystical dispute in hand. They've just, like, never gotten the chance to cast it because I've drawn nothing but lands this game and have 100 mana in play. Hopefully, if we drown the lock off the top, they just, like, die. Maybe. Probably not, but I mean, there is a chance that they, like, only have soft counters. That's not drowning the lock, but it is a redraw. Well, that's not drowning the lock, but it is 4 more looks at one. Do not have absorb 1 time. And none of those are drowning the lock either. Oh, hey, the first time we've seen one of the creature lands this whole match. Well, I think I'm going to attack here because they have to block. Literally, what are you holding up? Nice they didn't just... This is finally the chance for them to cast Mystical Dispute. They didn't cast it. Okay, I think I'm going to see every land in my deck by the time this game is over. Oh, well, I mean, that was an unfortunate sequence of mills. I'm gonna do one of these spawns. Please! Oh my god, man! How many damn lands is it even possible to draw? I think they're just shuffling more lands into my deck than are even currently, like, in the list. I have 1 basic land left. I'm amazed that there are any lands left in my deck given my current draws. 15 land.
I'm known for my excellent timing. You need to slow down.
I think the odds that they kill me before I run out their clock are actually pretty low. So that might be my game plan. I just try to run their clock to the end. Because they're running out of time and they really like just like sitting and doing nothing for extended periods of time. Right. Hopefully it takes them 8 minutes to resolve this scry and I win by time. 2 to the bottom is maybe a good sign for me. How is their hand bad if it's that many cards is my question. It probably just isn't, right? But that. Oh, what? What did I not click? Two of these. There's still Aghanim's Awakening in my deck. I think all of them. So I want to not exile my creatures. Forcing them to do this now could potentially it reduces their mana, so I can use this Mystical Dispute as a counterspell. Also, it runs their clock down further. Well, we'll draw the 986.2 billion. Congratulations. Which boss was it this time? Stupid. Oh, the golem. The golem was pretty easy. I like forgot that fight even existed until you reminded me. Narset Parter of Veils. That's a card you play when you're worried about your death. Udovan's Veto. That's not a... I don't think I cast. I think what I do is I just go straight for the face here. Face is the place. None of the other cards in their graveyard like matter anymore. I don't know. Their flashback shit is gone. This is also like the most stock possible list of blue-white control. They're not even playing like interesting cards. It's just the exact like hypothetical correct build of the deck. Yeah. Got my own uncounterable ability. Suck on that, chump. They definitely do not have the ability to create 2 creatures. I think. We might actually do it. Like, we might actually do it. There's a small chance. Like, the way they're scrying and shit implies that they just have nothing. The storyline? How many cutscenes are in that game? I forgot how often it, like, gives you story. Obviously, like, don't pay attention. Like, who cares? And I do get another look here. At this point, these are, like, all cards they put to the bottom of their library at some point during the game with how many times they've scryed. And how many times they've cast the thing. Yeah. Looks like your whole cannot withstand the might of the 3 mana value Nighthawk Scavenger. I think I'd just try to draw a card off of this, see what I get. I think the odds that I win here are very, very high, I would like to say. If they Dovens veto this, they lose the game. I forgot they had that piece of shit card on the battlefield. Never mind. Okay, my odds of winning are actually 0 at all times. Yeah, Planeswalkers have passive abilities now, and this one has the best passive ability that has ever been printed on a card.
My judgment is final.
I can't even cast this now. Okay, well, I might have just thrown the match, but also they don't have the ability to ever deal damage to me, so I think they actually just lose to time. Oh, I forgot about the character of Hugh from the Castlevania franchise. What an extremely noteworthy character. I have both of... If one of them...
I have got new moves to teach you.
I mean, I have to go for it. Maybe there's a chance this resolves. Nope, they always have it every time. At this point, they have like 8 cards in hand, so that makes sense. But I genuinely think I can kill them by running down the clock because I have just like so much life. Which is, you know, the least oh, they scried 2 to the top because of course they did. The least entertaining way to win a game. But
May your blade strike true.
How do they still have these in their deck? I feel like I've gotten every spell I've cast for like the last 12 turns countered, and they somehow still have more counter spells. Like, should you not have just like run out of these by now? You really not cast like
Show them how we greet our enemies. We must protect the people. I won't forget our time together.
not particularly, Dan. My hope is that they run out of time because they're slow at the game, and then I win. Which the only reason I'm even persisting for the chance is because I imagine that if you lose to time, you're probably extremely mold in the aftermath, and I live to make anyone who plays this deck extremely mold. So I refuse to believe it. For some reason, this card hits everything that isn't a planeswalker because I guess control decks having to maybe remove their own cards from the board is too unfair to the blue-white control players.
Strike fast and strike hard.
If I play this, it mills them 4, it mills them 4 again. Let's see how long it takes for them to resolve the Thoughtseize trigger. 1.6 million years.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
And we're also not attacking. Because then they just exile. Maybe on a minute 30. Time's ticking, SpongeBob.
Must protect the people.
And I have 36 life. I think I literally win the game. Getting some serious, I actually win this one vibes from this. Whether via time or actually just via killing them. It's like obviously they get to bounce one of my guys. And they can Field of Ruin my Hall, the Storm Giants. So like they're trading for my stuff, but they don't really have the ability to trade for all of my stuff, and they're just tempoing me when they can't really subsist on tempo alone. Yes, this has been an insufferably long match because blue-white control creates extremely miserable and lame play patterns where every match takes 4,000 years. However, I am currently winning. Oh, they bounced their Wandering Emperor? At the same time, that doesn't save them because they just die to the clock. Oh, I think they forgot they had a Field of Ruin. Because they really should not have been exiling. Oh, wait, they were just dead to the 6 power. I'm stupid. Oh, wait, no, because they could have bounced the other thing. Never mind it. Don't worry about it. What's that top card of your deck, opponent? Does it add 5 minutes to your timer? I'm hitting them with the heart emoji. LOL. That was satisfying and should be worth at least 10 rank points. Yes, they would have to somehow discover the ability to click fast enough to deal 36 damage to me in 1 turn in 10 seconds. Which would be an interesting accomplishment if they managed it. I'm not even sure I could be mad. I would be mad, but I'm not sure I could be mad. I want to build this deck, but it's just way too expensive. And also probably bad because I came up with it myself and therefore it's bad. Am I still playing this? I mean, I guess there's still people here watching. It's 3 in the morning. I think I should probably be done. All right. I didn't particularly intend to play that for like 10 hours, but that one match ended up going 10 hours. So, yeah, we did the rest of the demos. It was pretty it was pretty lackluster, I guess. It wasn't like bad. Yeah, it's 3 in the morning. I don't know. I mean, overall, from the full demo reel experience, retrospective, there were some pretty good ones. I definitely came across a couple of games that I like hadn't really heard of that actually looked really interesting, like Frog Monster and Frog Gun. Both of those frog games were pretty pogged. Sulaco, which I didn't play on stream, was really, really good. A lot of the other ones seemed pretty good. Cultic was fun. Cult of the Lamb looks good. The Eyes in the Dark game actually looks pretty entertaining. Depending on the price, I might be picking that up. As long as it's like 15 or less, maybe, you know. And then obviously some of the games were like lame, but you know, it's the demo reel grab bag. Outbound Ghost obviously good. Glitch looks good. Yes, Dan, you definitely watched everything. And of course, if you'd like to watch everything again, the VODs are on the YouTube channel if you would really if you just couldn't live without seeing me play Frog Monster or whatever. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna hope that my like the VOD file didn't get like corrupted because of the crusty hack and slash static game. Because I saw a warning on OBS when I was playing that. But yeah, okay. Other than that, if I stream more, I might start streaming Virgo because I said I was gonna do that and I want to get through that game. So yeah, good night, gamers.